We decided this year to have our annual conference on social value. The legislation for Social Value Act, which is coming down the track, we felt that it was interesting and needed for our members, for private and public sector, who hadn't maybe heard of social value before and who wanted to hear what social value was. So hopefully they've gone away today with much more of a feel for what it is and how they can help and embrace social value and work with social enterprises in their supply chain. Our conference today was held in Girdwood Community Hub, over 230 people in the room. Girdwood is run by GLL, Greenwich Leisure Limited, a social enterprise, and this shows the work that the public sector and social enterprise can do together. It's funded by Belfast City Council, so it's great to see the two sectors working together and producing such a community hub as this that we can use today for our annual conference.
It's all about good practice and making connections for me. It's about learning from what's happening here in Northern Ireland and Northern Ireland learning what's happening in Scotland. I would say it's about putting back profits that are made back into helping people that are slightly more disadvantaged than we are. The wealth is not really shared in the city, so I think it's important social enterprises share that wealth.
The reason I'm here today is really to inspire more private sector businesses to engage with social enterprises. We join the Bi-Social Corporate Challenge, which is a £1 billion challenge for the private sector to trade with social enterprises. We do a huge amount of work within the built environment. We're creating communities and transforming communities. We have a fantastic opportunity to really invest in the local economy by working with social enterprises and delivering those employment and training needs.
Our first session this morning was local government and how they can implement social value into their supply chains, and each one of them told us what that council was doing, working with social enterprises in their area, and how they were embracing social value.
Setting up social enterprises can be quite tricky to know which legal structure to go with. It's something I've been interested in really as a follow-on from my work in the charity sector. So I thought it was fantastic. I think the highlights for me with the Dragon's Den event, which was just brilliant. I was sitting there thinking, if I was one of those judges, who on earth would I go with? The gentleman who won, that was phenomenal what he's doing. And I also love this drawing behind here. I was watching it develop all day.
Tommy's named after my friend Thomas. Tommy Tucker McLaughlin, that took his life in 2009. At the time, I started to work with sport clubs around sort of raising awareness of mental health and exploring how best to connect with the audience. As a result of that, I designed Mental Wealth Games, a fun, interactive programme which teaches you about mental health through sport and play. And that's why I was here today, to pitch to the guys to try and get the programme accredited. Because of accreditation, I can get coaches and leaders in the community trained up to deliver this. So it's not just me running about delivering it myself. And more awareness getting into these communities, especially areas of high deprivation, which I work in across North and West Belfast.
I think the key message for social enterprises in Northern Ireland is to collaborate together. I wanted to show some examples of how we've done that over in England and in London particularly, but in the regional offices. So collaborating together, they can have a bigger impact. One of the main things that corporates can do for social enterprises in Northern Ireland is help them build capacity, and the way they can do that is by giving them a route to market, either through their clients and supply chain or through working with their suppliers. Conferences like this are really important to bring all the sectors together. So we have the local authorities, we have the private sector, and we have social enterprises. And as a Dragon judge on the Den, there were just amazing stories, and to hear the impact that social enterprises are having is amazing.
I think we're on the start of embarking on something big here at the moment. We have pushed and pushed for legislation over this past number of months. We've worked with the all-party group at Stormont and under the chair of Stuart Dixon, who was here this morning as well to open the conference. I think that shows the importance. 2017 is going to be a big year for us. We have used this past few years to establish this as a business model, but I think now we have the opportunity to take forward more awareness through private and public sector. We have legislation which has now come through the procurement board. More and more people will hear of social value, and it will be more embedded, and I hope today that private and public sector organisations have seen the need to understand it better, and hopefully that this conference today will have done that for them.